Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tashina from Logical Harmony. Today I'm going to be sharing a get ready with me and first impressions using these palettes from Pixi Beauty. Pixi Beauty is an amazing cruelty-free brand. They have tons of vegan options, including these palettes. So I was really excited when they sent these to me and I used them today to get this look. So if you want to see how I got this look and just what my thoughts are on these products, just keep watching. So as you can see, I've already done my face makeup. I'll link down below to what I used, but I already used my primer, foundation, concealer, and then I set that. So I didn't use a whole lot because what I really wanted to show today was some of these new to me Pixi products. So Pixi did send these to me. I'm really happy that they did because I actually almost bought all three of these. I had been like debating it, going back and forth. To be totally honest with you guys, I wasn't sure if it was worth it. This eyeshadow palette is completely me, but because of that, I already have several that are very similar. And you know, the highlights, I had heard good things about them, but I felt like they were a little bit pricey for a drugstore highlight and I wasn't sure if it was worth it. And I thought the contour palette looked pretty, but there's again seemed to be, you know, only two matte shades in it. So I also wasn't sure, was it worth it? So I'm glad that they sent these to me so I could try them out for you guys. So what I'm gonna do today is demo all three of these and then kind of share my thoughts with you. And of course, granted, this is like a first impression. This is my first time using them. This is more of a first impressions, obviously, than a review. I feel like to do a true review, you really have to use products multiple times and really get a feel for how they work with other products and different scenarios. And you know, you guys know what I mean. I'm gonna start with this highlight and contour kit, and I'm going to go in using the MOTD Mr. Handyman brush to apply a matte contour. I'm gonna pick the lighter shade. This one to me looks more like a bronzer than a contour, to be totally honest. Let's see what it's like. So I'm just gonna apply that in place with this brush. And because of this tone, it is on my skin, it does seem a little more orange toned. For me, I don't feel like this would work really well as a contour right now, so I'm gonna go in with a bronzer brush. This is a flat top kabuki from Modern Minerals, and I'm going to blend that out. And that does blend out really nicely. I am very happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish applying this to the rest of my face using that same MOTD brush, and then I'm going to go in and blend with that bronzer brush. Except for that, I'm gonna blend that with my finger because that was a little bit of an aggressive move on my part. I did already cream contour just a tiny bit with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick. I often like to layer cream contour and powder contour because on my skin type, I have combination dry skin. Right now it's pretty dry. That just seems to work better. It lays a good foundation and I don't have to use as much powder product. But I think in this case, because this is more of like a bronze tone on me, that actually worked in my favor. I'm gonna blend this out and then I'm gonna try mixing in a little bit of this darker one. See if that's maybe slightly less warm. I just took the sweater out of the dryer this morning and it's very staticky and my hair keeps getting really weird and staticky now. Just in case you guys are wondering what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this darker shade to just see if that's a little bit more cool toned than this lighter one. Slightly, it's slightly less cool toned. Okay, I'm gonna blend this out and see how that looks. So I feel like that looks pretty good. It's very natural. It blends out very, very well, but I like it. It's very subtle and I feel like it could be buildable. The fact that I can layer these two and it's still blended out so nicely is good. So I'm going to go in actually now with a highlight shade. Let me swatch these on my fingers, see which ones I want to use. I'm thinking this one, this middle shade right here. That looks really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with that shade, which is this one, this kind of pink toned right now. And I'm going to apply that using this little Eco Tools brush, which I need to replace because they no longer make this one. So I need to stop using it in videos, but I will link to one that is similar. That's pretty. Again, it's subtle. It's a very natural highlight, but I really like it. I think it looks nice. And I do think too, this palette, honestly, I think you could really use as an eyeshadow palette too. I feel like these would be really good crease colors. You could use these shimmers. Like, I feel like this is a really good multi-purpose palette. And if you guys want to see it tested as eyeshadows in another video, comment and let me know. I might just do that anyway. So I think I'm gonna move on now into this one, which I believe this is technically a highlighter. It is a glowy rose powder, so I'm gonna use it as a blush today. Very, very pretty. I like that it has like a little gold tint to it. I'm gonna go in with my MOTD Get Cheeky With It brush and just use a very light amount because I don't know how pigmented this is. I don't know how shimmery it is. very glowy today. So I'm not seeing much of the pink pigment in there, which honestly is good. I was a little worried about this as a general highlight with that pink tone. It put a little bit of color on there and some more shimmer. I think it looks nice. I'm just gonna move on. I don't have anything bad to say about that other than I wish I had some of the other colors. So maybe now I honestly might pick up some of the other shades of this because I've heard really good things and I feel like the formula is nice. It's definitely a highlight. So now I'm going to move on to eyes. Again, like I mentioned, this palette is very, very me. These are shades that I wear a ton anyway, and I am especially intrigued by this shade right here. That's so pretty. So I think what I'm gonna do is just do like, you know, a very typical me look and keep it neutral and simple, but for me, that usually means using 5 or 6 eyeshadows. So let's just see how this goes. Because I don't know if these shadows have fallout, I am gonna apply a little extra face powder. I'm gonna go into my RCMA No Color Powder on my Mr. Handyman brush from MOTD. And I'm just gonna apply a little extra powder underneath my eyes in case there is fallout. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is test one shade in here and see if there's fallout, because I'm gonna start with a matte shade. If there is, I'm gonna leave the powder on. If there's not, then I'm gonna wipe it away. So I'm gonna go in with this light shade here. This one is Honey Bear. I'm gonna go in on an MOTD. I believe this is a Blending Bestie, but it's so used that the name's totally worn off. I'm gonna go ahead and brush away the powder. I don't see any fallout from this. So I'm just gonna take that leap and that risk. Okay, I'm going to go in with this shade right above it. I'm just gonna list the shades that I used down below. But obviously if you have the palette, you can easily check. So I'm gonna go in and just get a little more of that and apply that into my crease, just a little more focused on the actual crease itself. I'm gonna grab a slightly smaller brush. Again, I don't know which one this is. I think this is the Eye Catching Crease from MOTD. And I am going to apply this darker brown right into the crease too. I'm just taking that very, very lightly. And I'm gonna focus that one on the outer crease and the outer corner of the eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade right here and apply that to my lid. And I will be using the Pigment Packer brush from MOTD. And I'm going to use this lightest shimmer shade called It's Mommy's Life and apply that to the inner corner. I don't know why I'm laughing. And apply that to the inner corner and a little bit onto my lid. Honestly, that shade name does not fit with the rest, and that's why I'm finding it funny, but I get it, I get it. Now I'm going to go in with an MOTD No Fudge Just Smudge brush and apply this lighter shade to my lower lash line and blend that out. And then I'm going to go in with that darker shade and just put that on the outer corner under my eye. I feel like I need a little something. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of this light shade again on that little smudge brush, and I'm gonna pop that on right to the center of my lid on both eyes. And I'm gonna take that same Pigment Packer brush and just kind of blend that a little bit. I just felt like my eyes needed a little something lighter. And then I'm going to take the Straight to the Point brush and apply this darkest shade, which is Night Night, and apply that really close to my lash line, just as if it were liner. And I'm going to do that just starting out maybe like halfway, and I'm not trying to make it look like liner, but just to add a little bit of depth to my lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the Steely Style. This is the Line and Seal Semi-Permanent Liner in black. And I'm gonna apply that to my upper waterline. I think these blend out really well. The shimmers seem to have good pigment, but I feel like the mattes, they don't have a ton of pigment. It kind of blends away, but I might try like getting them wet and see how it works with them. Like it has pigment when you apply, and then it kind of just like as you blend, I feel like a lot of the pigment is kind of like blending away or just blending together. I guess I just feel like I expected more from this. I'm gonna get one of these shimmers wet. I'm gonna use my Pixi setting spray. I'm just gonna spritz that on the brush. So let's go into that shade, mix those two together. Why not? So that has way more color payoff, way more pigment. I'm just gonna go straight for mascara. So for mascara, I'm going to be using the Eye of Horus by Lash Lift. You guys know how much I love this stuff and how good it is. So that is my finished look using these products. I kept it very neutral, very simple. I do like it. I think it looks good. They blended out. All of them blended really nicely. They all seem to be laying really well on top of my foundation. I like the formula. I wish the eyeshadow palette was a little bit different. I wish it had more variety in it. The shimmer shades are really pretty. I do appreciate that there's a variety of them. I just wish that in general there were there was a bigger variety of shades in this palette. I love neutral palettes, don't get me wrong. You guys know that if you've seen my videos. I love neutral palettes. I think for $24, this is one that if you don't yet have a good neutral palette, or if you're traveling and you need to pick one up, I think this is a good option. But I think as far as part of a permanent makeup collection, there are better palettes out there. Sorry, Pixi. I love Pixi Beauty. I love that they have so many vegan options. This just wasn't my absolute favorite neutral palette out there. I'll probably use it again, but I feel like this is a palette I've seen once in so many videos and then I never see people use it again. And I'm kind of worried it's gonna be that way for me as well, because I wasn't like blown away by any of the shades. The formula is good. I just wish there was more variety. It doesn't seem like there's a lot you can do with this palette. And I know it's a neutral palette, so that kind of sounds weird, but as someone who wears a ton of neutral eyeshadows, I want to get more out of this. I want to get more out of this palette, especially for how many shades are in there, and I feel like it's lacking a little bit. The Glow and Bronze palette, I feel like is good. The highlighter formula is really nice. These two are good, but I feel like if you have very tan or dark skin, they aren't really gonna work for you. I really liked the highlight formula. I would love if this was maybe just a highlight palette. I don't know, I feel like that's the direction it's going in with 4 shimmer shades. Maybe I also would like it if there was like an actual contour shade too. So I think it's good, but again, I'm on the fence. It's not my favorite palette. I'm not sure how often I'm going to reach for it. This highlight, I actually really liked the formula of. I definitely want to get more of these. There's 2 other shades. This one I think was really pretty, and I really, really liked it. So I think for me, the big standout of this, you know, collab, because this was some collab with people, is the highlights. I think the highlights are great. I definitely want to buy more. I think the formula is really, really nice. It's really pretty. And I feel like that's the same for these singles as well as the ones in this palette. I think the highlight is the standout to me. Obviously, these are just my opinions. Everyone's going to feel a little bit differently about things. Some things that I love, you guys hate. Some things you hate, I might love. It's just how it is. So this is just my opinion on it, my feeling. If you've used these products, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in my next video.